Okay. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the Cox Softball Complex here on the campus of Central Methodist University. It's the first time we get to play on the new turf there. And I want to say they did a wonderful job there. Of course, the best one they have is the Eagle logo behind the pitcher's mound there as well. And I think they did a wonderful job. They've been working on it, I would say, probably since the middle of May. And it's been a great day there. And I say, especially on a day like this, the turf is in good shape as well. Central Methodist, they are under head coach Pat Reardon, 11-5. For Cottey, under head coach Jamie Taylor, 11-12 on the year. Central Methodist, their last game is on March the 12th. That'll be 10 days ago. They swept a doubleheader with Westminster. They won the first game 17-0 thanks to a no-hitter by Jordan Ball, who I think is going to get the start today as well. And then game number 2, they won 22-0 on a one-hitter by Hallie Ferris, who may get the start either today or maybe Saturday or Sunday as well. But I'm sure Pat Reardon will give you the updates. Cottey, their last game was just a week ago today. They played a couple of games. They won both. The first game, they defeated Valley City State 18-12. Cottey, in their second game, defeated Doane 10-1. If you look at some of the numbers there, Central Methodist, their leading hitter is Caitlin Kaiser, 547 hitter, 2 homers, 16 RBIs. Of course, the reigning Hard America Conference Player of the Week. For Cottey, it's Alyssa Montoya, 386, no homers, 4 RBIs. Pitching-wise, that's Jordan Ball, who get to start in game 1, 4-1, 1.45 ERA, 10 walks, 31 strikeouts. And Lacey Cruz, who also will get to start in game number 1, 5-5, 2.40 ERA. Other events going on there, of course, Central Methodist Baseball, they're over there, but they're the visiting team because they're playing Mid-America, which would be on Mid-America's series there as well. They played the first 2 games. They split the doubleheader on Monday. They won the first one 7-2, and then lost on Monday 6-1. They were scheduled to play 2, but I think the rain took away all of that there, so they moved it there and playing on the turf as well. And then, of course, Saturday, baseball will host Baker 1 o'clock. I think temperatures, according to Emily Chirpich at Channel 8, 58 degrees there as well. And then, of course, softball, they will begin conference play at Clark for a 1 o'clock doubleheader as well. Pregame show for the baseball one at 12:45 p.m. And I think this is the first time in the history of the softball team that we get to play a game on Bob Costas' birthday. So Bob Costas, who I'm sure you're going to hear him a lot on the MLB Network, probably doing some games with Jim Cott, along with Tom Verducci as well. And I'm sure everybody at the MLB Network and that is listening, including John Smoltz and Al Leiter and many others, and Ron Darling. Bob, if you're listening in, I want to wish you a happy birthday, buddy. One of the best ones there, especially I remember him on NBC Sports. Remember he did the game of the week with a guy named Tony Kubek. One of the best baseball minds you've ever seen there as well. It's an overcast, but I think earlier we had some Dodger blue skies peeking out of the clouds there as well. So we should be getting a couple of games in there as well, but I know we had the dodge and duck rain, but technically it is the third day of spring. You see the coaches there, that's Pat Reardon, and, of course, for Cottey head coach Jamie Taylor. We're going to go ahead and give you today's starting lineups there. It is sponsored by Home Oil, leading off and playing center field. It is Karina Ramirez. Batting second and playing left field, it is Alyssa Montoya. Batting third and doing the catching is Lauren Johnson. Batting fourth and playing second base, Arena Palencia. Batting fifth and playing third base, Jenna Wilson. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 21, Ariana Castillo. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, Maria De Sota. Batting eighth and doing today's starting pitcher is Lacey Cruz. And today, and batting ninth, and playing second base, Elizabeth Brown. For head coach Pat Reardon, the leading off and playing center field, Kalina Oots. Batting second and playing third base, Madison Roberts. Batting third, shortstop, Madison White. Batting fourth, the Reign Conference Player of the Week, Caitlin Kaiser. Batting fifth, the designated player, it is Joey Kreider. Batting sixth and playing first base, Elizabeth Palumbo. Batting seventh and playing second base, it is Daly Garland. Batting eighth and doing the catching, Kaylee Parker. And batting ninth and playing right field, Carly Robbins. With Jordan Ball, today's starting pitcher there as well. Of course, the coaches and the umpires have met.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cottey Softball Complex for today's softball matchup between the Cottey College Comets and your Central Methodist Eagles. We ask that all players, coaches, and spectators abide.
Back here at Cox Softball Complex, starting lineups, and of course the prayer and the national anthem as well. Of course, we'll go ahead and set the defense for you. Sponsored by Commercial Trust Bank. Out in left field, it's Caitlin Kaiser. Center fielder Kalina Oots. In right field, Carly Robbins. Down at third base, it is Madison Roberts. At shortstop, Madison White. Second baseman, Daly Gardner. First baseman, Elizabeth Palumbo. The catcher is Kaylee Parker, and there's Jordan Ball from Fayette, Missouri. Went to Fayette High School, 4-1, 1.45 ERA, 10 walks, and 31 strikeouts on the season there as well. Of course, the umpires there as well, getting everything all lined up. Of course, we're about ready to get going there. Kaylee Parker, and looks like getting ready. We may be starting a few minutes early, but hey, you know what? That's okay. I have no problem with that. And the Comets from Cottey, they're in their, looks like gray uniform with the, looks like the blue trim, the blue numerals. Karina Ramirez up there. 382 hitter, a homer, 5 RBIs. She is from a town of Buckeye, Arizona. Some of the areas around where they're doing spring training baseball. And also, we'll also keep you up to date with the baseball game. They're taking on Mid-American Nazarene. They should be getting started there. First pitch, that's outside, ball 1. Came at 12:56 p.m. The temperature, 57 degrees. The time and temperature sponsored by the Parking Spot. Easy to spot and easy to park. The Parking Spot at the Kansas City International Airport. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count there. 2 balls, no strikes. And that is a strike call on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 the count there. 2-1 pitch. That's outside. 3-1 now. 3-1 the count there on Karina Ramirez. Crowd starting to file in. 3-1 pitch. And that's a strike call. Good job of framing it by Kaylee Parker. 3-2 the count. Overcast, but I think we may see some sunshine later on today. That's ball 4 now. So leadoff walk. And here's Alyssa Montoya, their team's leading hitter. 3-6 hitter, no homers, 4 RBIs from Duval, Texas. From Duval, Texas. Infield in at the corners, anticipating the bunt. Here's the pitch. There's the strike call, no question about it. 0 balls and 1 strike. Oh, 1 the count. Jordan Ball getting the sign, the pitch. I think she did go. Yes, sir, says the home plate umpire. And it's strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes on Alyssa Montoya. Slaps it foul. Or as Joe Garagiola would call it, the old excuse me swing. On deck is Lauren Johnson. 0-2 the count. Here's your 0-2 pitch. That's outside. Ball 1 there. 0-2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just underway. Or as Vince Scully would say, if you're listening in, just pull up a chair then. Pops that one foul there. One and two, the count. Jordan Ball just regrouping. Well, another softball comes into play. Trying to gain the sign from Kaylee Parker. She checks. Here's the 1-2. That's up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, Cottey, this is their third year in the NAIA. First year as a member of the American Midwest Conference. And I believe they start their conference on Sunday against Lyon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's a strike 3 call. Beautiful pitch. There's 1 out now for Lauren Johnson. A 342 hitter, 3 homers, 21 RBIs from Lockport, Illinois. Where's number 55? I remember a number 55 I always enjoyed. It was a guy named Oral Hershiser, pitched for the Dodgers. And I remember Oral has a son named Quentin. I remember that from a guy named Ronnie Reed, who read a book about Oral Hershiser in high school English. The 1-0. That is a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. And I believe that book is in the First Baptist Church in Slater. 2 balls and no strikes, 2-0 pitch. That's a strike call. 2 balls and 1 strike. And on deck is Ariana Palencia. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 pitch. It's a little pop up there. Let's see who calls for it. I think Madison White will call for it. And there's 2 outs there. Here's Ariana Palencia, a 377 hitter, 7 homers, 22 RBIs. From Phoenix, Arizona. Of course, the Phoenix Suns, of course, just 2 years ago, made it to the NBA Finals. They are in contention as well. Strike call. They're playing the Los Angeles Lakers tonight at 9 p.m. No balls and 1 strike. Here comes your 0-1 pitch. There goes the runner. There's the throw, and that's a stolen base there by Karina Ramirez. Let's see what the call is. I think it's 0-2. Let's see what the play umpire says. Yes, sir. 0-2 the count. Here's your 0-2. That's outside. 1 ball, 2 strike. On deck, Jenna Wilson. One ball, 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. 2-2 the count there on Ariana Palencia. Ramirez at first with the walk. 2-2 pitch. Swings and misses. Strike 3 call. So no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. Bottom of the first. No score. And we'll go ahead and set the defense for you for Cottey. That is sponsored by Howard Electric Cooperative. Out in left field there is Alyssa Montoya. Out in center field, Karina Ramirez. At right field there is Ariana Castillo. At third base, Jenna Wilson. At shortstop, that's number 7, Maya DeSoto. At second base, Ariana Palencia. At first base, Elizabeth Brown. And, of course, the catcher is Lauren Johnson. Today's starting pitcher, Lacey Cruz. 5-5, 2.40 ERA, 22 walks, and 92 strikeouts. From Oshkosh, Wisconsin, a left-handed pitcher. Kind of reminds you of, looks like another left-handed pitcher, one of the great ones they had, named Sandy Koufax. Pitched for the Dodgers from 1955 to 1966. There's the fastball, the curveball. So, throws it down to second there. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one at all. There's Kalina Oots, 436 hitter, no homers, 7 RBIs from Kansas City. one of the many returning players there. I'm sure her family is listening in Kansas City. This game was originally scheduled for February 26th, but it was canceled because of a scheduling conflict. And a strike call, no balls and one strike. 0-1 on Kalina Oots. 0-1 now. That's up high, 1-1 in the count there. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 on Kalina Oots. Here's the 1-1. Swings and misses, strike 2. 1-2 the count. One. That's all. Okay. Fouls that one off. 1-2 now. Of course, her mom is Taryn. Of course, I went to college with. Her Aunt Tristy, who is in the same age as my sister Riesel. 1-2 is a foul ball. Her grandmother, Joyce, used to work in the financial aid office at Central Methodist. Of course, her twin sister, Mackenzie, goes to the University of Missouri. 1-2 the count. It's another pop-up there. That is going out of play. One and two the count on Madison White. Of course, their girls basketball team from Rockbridge finished second in the state in Class 6. 1-2 pitch. That's up high. 2-2 the count. On deck, the reigning player of the week, Caitlin Kaiser. 2-2 the count on Madison White. 2-2 pitch. Lines that one. Fouled. 2-2 the count there. An overcast, but as they used to say, we had to dodge and duck some raindrops. 2-2. That's 3-2 the count. 3-2 the count, 3-2 pitch. That's another pop foul. That will be out of play into the Central Methodist bullpen. Three and two the count there. On Madison White, checks the bat. 3-2 from Lacey Cruz. Here it is. Another pop foul. Boy, she has a productive at bat. Jonathan Litz provides a new softball there. 3-2 the count. Three-two pitch. That's ball four now. So a two-out walk. First base runner of the game for Central Methodist for the reigning player of the week from the Higher America Conference, Caitlin Kaiser. 547 hitter, 2 homers, 16 RBIs from Kansas City. Boy, went to Stately High School. First pitch to her. That is outside. That's a strike. Well, that's a late call there by the home plate umpires. 0-1 to count. 0-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Strike two there, right into the screen. If we were a little bit lower, I bet you Harry Carey would grab a net and try to grab a foul ball with a net. 0-2 the count. Here's the 0-2. Strike three call. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and one left on. We are through one. No score here on CMUEagles.com and our America Conference Network. All right, Harry Gear. No runs, no hits, no errors for Cottey. No runs, no hits, no errors for Central Methodist.
Third baseman, number 44, Jenna Wilson.
Here's Jenna Wilson up there. 365 hitter, homer, 8 RBIs from Mulberry, Arkansas. Where's number 44? Like two of the great ones. Hank Aaron, of course, became baseball's all-time hit home run king back on April 8th, 1974. Off another number 44, a guy named Al Downing, who was pitching for the Dodgers that night. Another number 44, Mr. October's Reggie Jackson, who will be 77 on May 16th. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 to count on Jenna Wilson. Getting the sign. Here's the 2-0. Styles that one off. 2 balls and a strike. Two and one to count. 2 balls and 1 strike on Jenna Wilson. 2-1 pitch. Hits a high fly ball to left field. That is foul. 2-2 the count there. Two balls, 2 strikes on Jenna Wilson. 2-2 the count. Here's your 2-2 pitch. That's into the dirt there. 3-2 the count on Jenna Wilson. Three balls, 2 strikes. Here's your 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4 now. Both base runners have been on for Cottey by the walk. And here is Ariana Castillo from Duval, Texas.
Right fielder, number 21, Ariana Castillo.
A 267 hitter, no homers, 7 RBIs, and maybe a courtesy runner checking in for Cottey. Looks like number 5 there. Virginia Norden is the courtesy runner for.
Now running number 5, Virginia Northern.
So Jordan Ball needs to settle down. Just talk to the softball, point to the catcher. Getting the sign down while the umpires make some notes there. On Ariana Castillo. First pitch. Tries the bunt. Beautiful bunt. Ball's only play is the first. They do get the play at first. And so it's a sac bunt. It'll be 1-4 on your scorecard there. So 1 out now. And here's Maya DeSoto.
Now batting shortstop, number 7, Maya DeSoto.
Maya DeSoto, a 219 hitter, homer and RBI from Long Beach, California. First pitch to him. That is a strike call there. I remember several years ago went to a minor league hockey match in Kansas City, and they were playing the Long Beach Ice Dogs. That was when they were in Kipper Arena. 0-1 pitch. That's outside 1-1 to count. 1 ball, 1 strike there on Maya DeSoto. And, of course, the famous athlete came from there was a gentleman named Tony Gwynn. Strike 2 there, 1-2 the count. And, of course, his brother Chris also played in the big leagues, mostly with the Dodgers. 1-2 the count. 1-2 pitch. And that's a foul ball there, 1-2 the count on Maya DeSoto. 1-2 to count on Maya DeSoto. One ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. That's another pop foul there. That's going to go out of play. 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. That's outside. 2-2 to count on Maya DeSoto. Their outfield is playing straight away. 2-2 the count on Maya DeSoto. 2-2 pitch. Swings and misses. Strike 3 call on the curveball. So 2 outs now for Lacey Cruz. A 170.
Pitcher, number 11, Lacey Cruz.
Lacey Cruz, 174 hitter, no homers, 2 RBIs from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. First pitch. That's outside, ball 1. On deck, Elizabeth Brown. Looks like some of the students are filing into the center field area of the softball complex. The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. That's 2 balls and no strikes. Runner at second is Jenna Wilson. 2-0 pitch. Swings and misses. Strike 1. 2-1 to count there. Two balls and 1 strike. 2-1 pitch. Swings and misses. Strike 2. 2-2 to count. 2's across the board there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 to count. 2-2 pitch. It's a little pop up there. Let's see if Parker has a chance. And it's going to go out of play. Two and two the count on Lacey Cruz. Today's starting pitcher. 2-2 pitch. It's another pop up there. I think who's going to call for it? I think Jordan Ball calls for it for the third out. So no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on, and 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the second. No score. I was like, three. No runs, no hits, no errors for Cottey. No runs, no hits, no errors for Central Methodist.
Designated player, number 6, Joe Kreider.
Here's Joe Kreider. 333 hitter, no homers, 13 RBIs. She is from a town of Eagle, Idaho, around the Nampa area. You may remember in 1994 when the Central Methodist men's basketball team played their first game of the NAIA tournament in Nampa. And she is hit by a pitch there.
First baseman, number 23, Liz Palumbo.
Here's Liz Palumbo, 227 hitter, no homers, 10 RBIs from Sterling, Illinois. So now let's see if Central Methodist can take advantage of it as a strike call to Palumbo. Where's number 23? Just like another 23 who played first base, guy named Don Mattingly. fouls it all. And thank goodness there was a screen, because otherwise I would try to make a catch in a broadcast booth. That's why you have to have your hands sticking out there. Be prepared for everything. 0-2 pitch. Lines a shot in the left field, and the left fielder makes a catch. Wow, what a play there. That was hit on the button there, and a good play by the left fielder, Alyssa Montoya. There's Daly Garden, 235 hitter, no homers, 4 RBIs from Woodridge, Illinois, around the Chicago area. I remember the first time I remember that town from watching the Bozo Show back in the 1980s when they had Bozo the Clown. And they had an at-home partner who came from Woodridge, Illinois, when one of their players was in the grand prize game. Infield in at the corners. And it is a strike call. No ball, 1-1 to count. They're maybe anticipating a bunt there with Kaylee Parker on deck. Okay. 1-1 to count. That's outside. Oh, that's on the outside corner. Maybe it caught the corner there. 1-2 to count there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On Daly Garden, Joe Cryers at first when she was hit by a pitch. That's 2-2. Now they throw it away, but not far enough. Good job by the right fielder backing up the play there. Trying to be like what Benito Santiago used to do for the Padres. Used to catch runners from his knees. 2-2 the count on Daly Garland. Swings and misses. Strike 3 call, so 2 outs now for Kaylee Parker.
Now batting, catcher, number 12, Kaylee Parker.
227 hitter. No homers, 6 RBIs. Kaylee Parker. And the ball 1-0 now with Carly Robbins on deck. 1 ball, no strikes, 1-0 pitch. That is up high, 2-0 to count there. 2-0 to count. Joe Cryers at first. She was hit by a pitch. 2-0 to count. 2 balls, no strikes. Strike, 2-1 now. 2-1 to count. 2-1 pitch. 3-1 now. 3-1 on Kaylee Parker. I always enjoy meeting Kaylee and her family. I think that's Dennis and Kathy. They could be listening or at the ballpark as well. And it's ball 4 now. So now first and second now. And 2 outs for Carly Robbins. A 500 hitter, homer, 2 RBIs from San Diego. One of my favorite athletes came from San Diego was a gentleman named Tony Gwynn, who had the sweetest swing in baseball. And I tell you, he was one of the most baseball minds when it comes to hitting. I think he was the first ball player to have someone videotape his hitting. So a lot of times on days off, he would go to the hitting area and watch it on film, have him taking batting practice or taking what he's done, and he can just detail you everything. And he was a master of that. 1-0 to count. The 1-0 pitch. That is a strike call. 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike on Carly Robbins. Kalina Oots on deck. The 1-1 pitch. That's up high. 2-1 now. Two balls and 1 strike. Here on Bob Costas' birthday. 2-1 pitch. 3-1 to count. 3-1 to count. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-2 to count. on Carly Robbins. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 call, so no runs. No hits. No errors and 2 left on. We are through 2. Cottey 0, Central Methodist 0. No runs, no hits, no errors for Cottey. No runs, no hits, no errors for Central Methodist. And now getting ready to lead off for Cottey is Elizabeth Brown.
Leading off for the Comet, first baseman, number 4, Elizabeth Brown.
Elizabeth Brown, 233 hitter, no homers, 1 RBI from Bakersfield, California. Jordan Bell has not allowed a hit. Her last start, she threw a no-hitter against Westminster. First pitch. That's a ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes. The only other pitcher I can ever recall to ever throw 2 consecutive no-hitters was Johnny Vanderveer. Did that in 1938 when he was pitching for the Cincinnati Reds. The 1-0. And that's 2-0 count. I think one of them, it was against Philadelphia. The other one was against the Brooklyn Dodgers. 2-0 the count. 2-0 pitch. 3-0 the count. 3 balls and no strikes on Elizabeth Brown. The 3-0. That's a strike. 3-1 the count. Takes it all the way. Three balls and a strike. 3-1 pitch. There's another one, strike 2. 3-2 the count there on Elizabeth Brown. 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. It's a little pop-up. I think Palumbo may call for it. First baseman makes the catch for out number 1 there. There's Karina Ramirez. She drew a walk her first time up, leading off the game. First pitch. And that's a strike call. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count. They're playing her toward left. The 0-1 now. That's strike 2 call. No balls and 2 strikes. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 pitch. Swings and misses, strike 3 call. So 2 quick outs now. There's Alyssa Montoya. She struck out her first time up.
Right fielder, number 1, Alyssa Montoya.
There's Alyssa Montoya. First pitch. That's a strike call. 0-1 to count there. 0 balls and a strike. 0-1 to count there. 0-1 pitch. Little check swing. That's going out of play. 0-2 now. 0-2 to count. Oh, 2 pitch. Low check swing foul ball. Oh, 2 the count there on Alyssa Montoya. That's outside 1-2 now. One and two the count there. Playing it toward left. 1-2 pitch. Slaps it foul. Still 1-2. One and two the count there on Alyssa Montoya. 1-2 pitch. Little slapper foul. One ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. Ooh, little chin music, or as Dwight Gooden would call it, Uncle Charlie. 2-2 the count. Jordan Ball's just trying to talk to the softballs. Getting the sign from Keely Parker. 2-2 pitch. Slaps that one foul. That was a good catch, but it hit the screen first. Two and two the count. Just underway. First of 2. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. So the 1-2-3 inning goes Cottey. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. We go to the bottom of the third. Central Methodist 0, Cottey 0. Oh, let's see. 1171. Yeah. No runs, no hits, no errors for Cottey. No runs, no hits, no errors for Central Methodist. Kalina Oots, she struck out her first time up. Neither team has a hit so far, but they had base runners. Central Methodist only had one runner in scoring position. I think Cottey, there's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Both their runners have reached second base. Swings and misses, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 to count. Strike 2. 0-2 to count there. Just imagine 8 days from now, baseball's opening day. 0-2 pitch. That's strike 3 call. So 1 out now for Madison Roberts. She struck out her first time up. First pitch to her. A little chopper, that's a foul ball. Strike one. 0-1 now on Madison Roberts. From Elkhart, Illinois. The pitch. That's outside. 1-1 now. One ball, one strike on Madison Roberts. Jonathan Lynch coaching at first. Here's a base. Oh, knocks it down. I think that would be a base hit all the way. I believe that would be the first hit of the game there. That was a good effort there, but Madison White. She drew a walk her first time up. First pitch to her. That's up high. One ball, no strikes. On Madison White. Caitlin Kaiser on deck. Roberts at first with the single. Hits a high fly ball to right field. That is up against the wall there. Roberts is going to be held up at third by Pat Reardon. And now we have second and third. First time we have either team on at third base. And both runners are in scoring position for Caitlin Kaiser. She struck out her first time up. And now time has been called for. I think Kaiser, if she can hit the ball to the right side there, not only you can score Madison Roberts, but move Madison White to third. Kaiser from Kansas City. Of course, in 8 days, I know a lot of people in her area are looking forward to watching the Royals take on the Minnesota Twins at 3 p.m. at Kauffman Stadium. Infield in at the corners. And he fouls that one. Strike one there. I think Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hutler will have the play-by-play with the pregame show around 2 o'clock or so. 0-1 to count there. Runners at second and third. 0-1. That's up high. One ball and a strike with Joe Kreider on deck. One and one to count. No score. The 1-1. Swings and misses. I think that was a foul tip into the glove there. You can probably hear it from the broadcast booth. And it's 1-2 now. One ball, two strikes. The 1-2. Fouls that one off. 1-2 to count. One ball, two strikes on Caitlin Kaiser. 1-2 pitch. That's outside. Bases, Carly Robbins on deck. 3-2 pitch. It's a fly ball into left center field. And the center fielder makes the catch there for the third out. So 3 runs on 4 hits. No errors. 2 left. We are through 3. Central Methodist 3. Cottey 0. Okay, changing. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, no hits, no errors for Cottey. As Lauren Johnson up there, she popped out to Madison White her first time up. At the end of 3, Central Methodist 5, Mid-America 0. And the first pitch to her. That's a ball outside. Of course, tomorrow night got some NHL hockey. The Minnesota Wild take on the Philadelphia Flyers. A 5:30 start time there as well from Philadelphia. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. That is a foul ball. Strike 1 there. I believe there's another game. 1-1 to count on Lauren Johnson. One ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. That's ball, 2 balls, and a strike. Two and 1 to count. 2-1 pitch. 3-1 to count there. 3 balls and a strike. Three balls and a strike. 3-1 pitch. That kind of gets away, and I think that's a walk.
Now batting number 2, Ariana Palencia.
There's Ariana Palencia. She struck out her first time up. 3-0 Central Methodist. All the runs came in the 3rd inning. First pitch to her. That is a strike call on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1 now. It's a high pop foul. 0-2 now. 0-2 the count. Oh and 2 the count there on Ariana Palencia. Here's the pitch. That's a strike 3 call, so 1 out now. Here is Jenna Wilson. She walked her first time up. She walked her first time up. The first pitch. And that's a foul ball to the screen. 0-1 to count. No balls and a strike. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 to count. Runner at first is Lauren Johnson, and it's 0-2 now on the outside corner. Balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2, that's up high. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 the count on Jenna Wilson. Here's the 1-2. It's a high pop up, giving chase, but a foul ball. And it's still 1-2 to count there. One and two to count. 1-2 to count. Lines that one fouled. One, two to count. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 call on the outside corner. 2 quick outs now.
Now batting number 21, Ariana Costello.
There's Ariana Costello. She drew a sack bunt her first time up. I got Joan Wilson in the second. Fouls it off. Strike one. No balls and one strike. 0-1 pitch. That's strike two, no question about it. She did go around. 1-2 the count there. No balls, two strikes. 0-2 pitch. That's up high, 1-2. 1-2 the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Fouls that one off. Still 1-2. Another softball comes into play. 1-2 the count. Here's the 1-2. Fouls that one off. Still 1-2 now. One ball, 2 strikes, 1-2 pitch. That's strike three. Call for 3 consecutive strikeouts, or as Chris Schenkel would say on the Pro Bowler, sir, that is a 3-bagger. And we are halfway home. 3-0 Central Methodist. Let's see. See who plays at 8 o'clock. Who plays at 8 o'clock? Isn't. Oh, okay. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's right. I got it. I found. So, he's playing each. Penguin. Okay, Penguin. That's what I thought. Pittsburgh. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, no hits, no errors as well. Of course, second game. Here's Carly Robbins, struck out her first time up. Of course, second game tomorrow night on the NHL game, you got the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Dallas Stars. And that is a ball. Then Saturday night hockey, the Washington Capitals and the Pittsburgh Penguins. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. Hits a little ground ball to the second baseman. Throws over the first. And there's out number 1. So 1 out now. For Kalina Oots, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Now batting the center fielder, number 14, Kalina Oots.
First pitch. Lays on a bunt. Pitcher has it. Throw the first. And they got her. Bang, bang play. And there's 2 quick outs.
Now batting the third baseman, number 11, Madison Roberts.
There's Madison Roberts, 1 for 2 with the single. And that single started that 3-run third inning there. First pitch. That is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 the count. The 1-0. Does she go? Yes. 1-1 to count. Set by the umpire down around the first baseline. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's outside, 2-1 now. Two balls and 1 strike. 2-1 pitch. That's outside, 3-1 now. 3-0 Central Methodist, 3 runs, 4 hits. All came in the 3rd inning. The 3-1 pitch. Lines a shot into left center field. That's up against the wall there. Here comes Roberts out in the 2nd. That's a 2-out double there. 5th hit of the game now for Central Methodist. Here's Madison White. She's been on base twice. First with a walk in the 1st, then single in the 3rd. Five hits now for Central Methodist. First pitch. And that is a strike call. No balls and 1 strike. No balls and 1 strike. 1-1 to count. They throw back over there, and it's 1-1 now. One ball, 1 strike on Madison White. Swings and misses. Strike 2 there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Quentin Norris sitting in the catbird seat. 1-2 now on Madison White. 1-2 pitch. Fouls it to the screen. Still 1-2. One, two, the count on Madison White. Here's the 1-2. Swings and misses. Strike 3. Catcher has to throw over the 1st to complete the out. So no runs on 1 hit. No errors. 1 left. We head to the top of the 5th inning. 3-0 Central Methodist on CMUEagles.com. Three runs, 5 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, no hits, no errors for Cottey. There's Maya DeSoto, struck out her first time. Jordan Ball is 9 outs away from making history. The only baseball player that has ever thrown back-to-back no-hitters was Johnny Vanderveer back in 1938. And the first pitch. And that's a hit batsman. So now Cottey has been, this is probably the 4th base runner, 2 walks and a hit batsman. Here's Lacey Cruz. She popped out to Jordan Ball her first time up. Wouldn't it be sweet? She joins Johnny Vanderveer as pitchers have thrown back-to-back no-hitters. The first pitch. That is a strike call. 1-1 to count. Elizabeth Brown is on deck. Top of the 5th inning. The 0-1 now. Strike 1. They throw back over there, and back goes DeSoto. No balls, 2 strikes. 0-2 the count on Lacey Cruz. I think she fouled it off. Yep. Still 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Elizabeth Brown on deck. 0-2 pitch. That's outside. 1-2 to count. DeSoto's at first. She was hit by a pitch. One-two pitch. That is 2-2 to count. And if everything holds true, I think there's a 25-minute break, and we may interview Jordan Ball either after the first game or maybe after the second game of the doubleheader. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Her only play is the first. Nice stop there. Good stretch there by Palumbo for out number one. Elizabeth Brown popped out to Liz Palumbo, her first time up. First pitch to her. Grounded. That is a foul ball. Boy, it came maybe within 2 inches of making it fair. On 1 to count there on Elizabeth Brown. Where's number 4? The 0-1 now. Hits a little pop-up there. And that is a base hit. First hit of the game there. Now Brown's taking off for second. And now DeSoto will come on home to make it 3-1 there. That's going to be a base hit. Then take second on the throw home. RBI. So 3-1 now. Oh, they're giving her an error. I thought maybe that should have been a base hit there. Because it looked like it was, unless it hit the glove. Here's Carolina Ramirez, 0 for 1 now. Swings and misses, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 to count, 0-1 now. Lays on the bunt, that's strike 2. 0-2 to count. One and two, no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Three runs, 5 hits, and an error for Central Methodist. 1 run hit, and no errors there. As Caitlin Kaiser up there, 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. Well, first pitch. That is a strike call. No balls and 1 strike. It looks like we'll have a 25-minute break in between doubleheaders. 0-1 to count. The 0-1 fouls it to the screen, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 0-2 to count. Here's the 0-2. That's a bit outside. 1-2 to count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. That's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Joe Kreider on deck. Joey Kreider on deck. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Is a fly ball, and the right fielder makes the catch for out number 1. Joe Kreider 0 for 1. She was hit by a pitch in the second. Flew to center field her first time in the third. Pitch. That's inside. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 ball, no strikes, still 1-0. Hits a ground ball. That's a nice stop by the second baseman. Throw gets away. That'll probably be a base hit there. That was a beautiful play there by the second baseman. Boy, just like Joe Morgan would do for the Reds. Liz Palumbo, 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. First pitch. Hits a high pop-up to the center fielder. Center fielder has the room, and there's 2 outs. So 2 outs now for Daley Garland, 0 for 1. Struck out and then was hit by a pitch.
Number 9, Daley Garland.
First pitch to Garland. And that is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 to count. 1-0 to count on Daley Garland. 2-0 to count. Two balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. 3-0 to count. Three and 0 on Daley Garland. Joe Cryer is at first. 6 hits now. And she'll take it all the way. 3-1. Three balls and a strike on Daley Garland. She fouls it to the screen. 3-2 now. The next home game after this doubleheader is not until April 1st, taking on Mid-American Nazarene for a 1 o'clock game. Then they have a 2-game road trip on Saturday, Sunday. 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4 now. So first and second for Kaylee Parker. She is 0 for 1 with a walk.
Now batting the catcher, number 12, Kaylee Parker.
So Parker 0 for 1, the first pitch. That is a strike call on the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Oh to 1 to count. Here's your 1. That's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, the 1-1. Swings and misses, strike 2, 1-2 now. One, two, the count. One run's going to score. Second run's going to score. Here comes the third run, and she scores. And it's now 6-1 Central Methodist on a 3-run double by Carly Robbins. So it looks like we'll have a pitching change coming up there. The call of the bullpen is sponsored by Emmett's Kitchen and Tap. There's Kristen Hurst, the new pitcher on the mound. 0-2 at a 5.69 ERA, 14 walks and 5 strikeouts there from Rison, Arkansas. And for Carly Robbins, that 3-run double gives her 5 on the year. So Kalina Oots will be the batter. 3 runs already on 2 hits. Oots 0 for 3. Robbins is at second with the 3-run double. Time called there. Looks like may have a courtesy runner coming up there. That looks like number 1. That's Casey Jolly from Nampa, Idaho, will be the courtesy runner.
Running second base for the Eagles, number 1, Casey Jolly.
So now Kalina Oots up there, 0 for 3 on the day. So Jolly's at second, the courtesy runner for Carly Robbins. And the first pitch. That is a strike call. No balls and 1 strike. 3 in the third, and they added 3 more in the fifth. 0-1 to count. The 0-1. That is up high. 1-1 to count. One to count. 1-1 pitch. That is a strike 2. 1-2 to count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Fouls it off to the screen. Still 1-2. Bottom of the 5th inning. 6-1 Central Methodist. 1-2 pitch. Slaps that one. That is a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. See the sun starting to peek through the clouds there. 6-1 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kalina Oots. 1-2. That's a bit inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jolly's at second, the courtesy runner for Carly Robbins. Was there on the 3-run double. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2-2 pitch. Slaps it nigh off the glove of the shortstop. Here comes Jolly in to score. Let's see how they're going to score that one there. I have a feeling that's going to be a base hit. That'll be an RBI, and it's now 7-1.
Now back to the third baseman, number 11, Madison Roberts.
Here's Madison Roberts, 2 for 3. A single, double. First pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 to count. So it's 7-1 Central Methodist. 0-1 pitch. Fouls that one off, and it's 0-2. 0-2 the count there. I have a feeling that's going to be a single. Went to second on the throw. That's down low. 1-2 the count. Even though the scoreboard 6, but it should be 7, according to my scorebook. 1-2 pitch. That's strike 3 call. So 4 runs there on just 3 hits, no errors, and they leave 1. We head to the 6th inning. Central Methodist 7, Cottey 1. 2, 3, 4. I think 4, and I think how many hits we got? 1, 2, 3. I think 3. 7-1 now. First pitch. That's a ball there to Jenna Johnson, 0 for 1. She drew a walk and then popped to short. Here's the 1-0. Tries to bunt, and it's a foul ball. 1-1 to count there. Let's see how many hits. So 3 hits. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7 runs, 8 hits, and an error for Central Methodist. 1 run, a hit, and no errors for Cottey. Fly ball to right field. Oh, nice play by the right fielder. Coming in there, that's Casey Jolly. Makes a beautiful catch. As Mellon would say on This Week in Baseball, how about that? Ariana Palencia. She is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch. It's a high pop-up. That will go out of play. And a strike call. No balls and 1 strike. Oh and 1 to count. Here's the 0-1 now. It's a fly ball to left field. And the left fielder, that is Caitlin Kaiser, makes the catch for 2 quick outs. Here's Jenna Wilson, 0 for 1 with a walk. That came in the top of the 2nd inning. 6, should be 7-1 now. 3 in the 3rd, 4 in the 5th. But then Cottey answered with a run in the 5th. And a strike call, no balls, and 1 strike. Okay. 0-1 to count. 0-1 pitch to her. Oh, that hit her. So it'll be 0-2 to count. 0-2 to count. That's okay. 0-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 6. Here's 0-2. That's a strike 3 call. 1-2-3 inning now. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Central Methodist 7, Cottey 1. He can. Yeah, there we go. Should be up. What is it? 1240. Yep. Seven runs, 8 hits, and an error for Central Methodist. 1 run. 1 run, a hit, and error, and no errors for Cottey. As Madison White up there. 1 for 1, 1 for 2, with a double. First pitch to her. That is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Along with Caitlin Kaiser and then Joe Kreider. The 1-0. Hits a ground ball to the second baseman, throws the first, and there's out number 1. So 1 out now. Caitlin Kaiser up there 1 for 3 with a single and an RBI. First pitch to her. That's ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0. Hits the ground ball to the shortstop. Throws the first, and there's 2 quick outs.
Now batting number 6, Joe Kreider.
So Joe Kreider up there 1 for 2 with the single. That was part of that 4-run 5th inning. First pitch. That is a strike call on the inside, on the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Oh, 1 pitch. That's a foul ball. Oh, nice catch there by Pat Reardon. And there's 2 strikes there. Oh, and 2 to count. That's a bit high. 1 and 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. That's inside. 2 and 2 now. If Central Methodist can get 2 more runs there in the 6th inning, they can win on the 8-run rule. 2 and 2 the count. 2-2 pitch. Hits the ground ball to the shortstop. Throws the first. Then there's the third out. A 1-2-3 inning here. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We head to the 7th. Central Methodist 7, Cottey 1. I was gonna. That guy sounds. I was gonna. Yes. Oh, is he? I have seen. Right. Seven runs, 8 hits, and an error for Central Methodist. No, a run, a hit, and no errors for Cottey.
Now batting number 21, Ariana Castillo.
There's Ariana Castillo, 0 for 1. She had a sac bunt in the 2nd inning. And the first pitch, and that is a ball. Over 30,000 on hand. I'm sure millions are watching on the game on television. 1 ball, no strikes. Cox Softball Complex shivering with its concrete foundations. The 1-0. It's a pop. Good play by Palumbo. Throws the first. Dropped it by Garland. That would be an error right there. No question about it. That would be an error on the second baseman. Even though the scoreboard gives her a hit, but now they're checking to make sure if she's okay. So it looks like a single, but it looked like an error, I think, when Daly Garland dropped the ball. Maya DeSoto, 0 for 1. She was hit by a pitch her last time up. 2 hits now for Cottey. Runner at first. Hits a liner, but nice play there by the left fielder, Caitlin Kaiser. And there's out number 1 there. Here's... Looks like number 8. That's Kristen Hurst, the hitter. Batting for the first time today. Came on for the pitcher. 270 hitter, homer, and 3 RBIs. And that's a strike call. No balls and 1 strike. Elizabeth Brown out on deck. The 0-1 now. That is a strike 2 call. 0-2 to count. No balls and 2 strikes on Kristen Hurst. Castillo's at first on the single. That's outside. 1-2 now. Looks like we'll have a 25-minute break in between games. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouls it to the screen. One ball, 2 strikes. On Kristen Hurst, batting for the first time today. See the sun's coming out there. Little roller, foul. 1-2 the count there. One ball, 2 strikes on Kristen Hurst. 1-2 pitch. Hits a little pop up there. One and 2 the count on Kristen Hurst. One-two pitch. 2-2 the count. Okay. Baseball still going on there at Estes Field. 2-2 the count. It's a little chopper foul. 2-2. Now, looks like number 11, that is Madison Roberts. Trying to straighten it out. Straighten her hair out a little bit. Now it looks like we'll be back in there. 2-2 to count on Kristen Hurst. Castillo at first on the single. 2-2 pitch. Misses inside. 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. Now Kristen Hurst. Here's your pitch. I think she held up in time, so now first and second and 1 out. There's Elizabeth Brown, 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI from Bakersfield, California. One of the most famous athletes that came from there was a gentleman named Frank Gifford. Played for the New York Giants from 1952 to 1964. But I always knew him as the guy on Monday Night Football. Strike 1 there. Most notably, teaming up with Al Michaels and Dan Dierdorf. 0-1 to count. Fouls it off. 0-2 now. Oh, and 2 the count there on Elizabeth Brown. 0-2 pitch. That's strike 3 call, so 2 down now. 1 more to go. Here's Kalina Ramirez. 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. First and second, 2 outs, and a pitch. That is a ball high. 1 ball, no strikes. Of course, game number 2, even though it's scheduled for 3, maybe a little after 3. 1 ball, no strikes. That is a 2-0 to count. Ball 2. Castillo's at second. Hurst at first. Here's the 2-0. Fouls it off. 2 balls and a strike. Looks like Alyssa Montoya is on deck. 2-1 pitch. That's missed. 3-1. 3 balls and a strike. Three one. Hits the ground ball. Base hit there. And everyone moves up a base. 3rd hit of the game now for Cottey. And now Montoya 0 for 3 on the day.
Now batting number 1, Alyssa Montoya.
Just needs 1 more out to go. First pitch. That is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 the count. The 1-0. Slaps it foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, doubleheader for hockey. Getting at 5:30. Minnesota Wild and Philadelphia Flyers. Both Steve Levy, Mark Messier, P.K. Subban, and Chris Chelios. Slaps it to left field. Nice running catch by Caitlin Kaiser. And as the great Jack Buck would say, that's a winner, folks. Central Methodist wins it 7-1. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they lead 2. We'll give you the final line totals. Central Methodist, 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and actually 1 error. Cottey, 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. So Central Methodist, they're 12-5. Cottey's 11-13 there. We'll have game number 2 for you in about 25 minutes and 25 seconds there on CMUEagles.com.